I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on. Thank you very much for that, Ian Wright. As the big man just said there, people deluded. I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Please make sure you're smashing the like button. You're allowing your creative juices to start flowing, people, and comment any thoughts and opinions that you guys have. Don't forget to turn your notification bells on. Now, at the time of making this video, Arsenal are on the eve of playing FC Porto. Hopefully, we turn it around in the second leg. But with that being said, we might as well quickly go over all of the latest news, views, talking points, rumors, etc., where Arsenal Football Club are concerned, people. Now, you look at Zinchenko, someone who's got 2 years left on his deal. You look at last week, he was linked with potentially going to Bayern Munich or Newcastle United. Allegedly, Arsenal have made a Zinchenko transfer decision after Bayern Munich twist. Arsenal have no plans to sell left-back Zinchenko in the summer transfer window, sources have told Football Insider. Zinchenko, 27, had been a key man for Mikel Arteta, but has recently lost his place in the Gunners side due to injury. Kirill has impressed for Arsenal in the absence of the Ukraine international, who returned to action from the bench against Brentford on Saturday. Kirill has started each of the Gunners' last 5 games, all of which have ended in victory. And he's still being linked with AC Milan as well, Kirill. Zinchenko has recently been linked with the likes of Newcastle and Bayern Munich. A well-placed source has told Football Insider that Arsenal are in no rush to accept offers for the ex-Man City star. It's believed he remains a key man for Mikel Arteta and is a big personality in the dressing room at the Emirates Stadium. His status as a serial winner is also highly valued by the Spaniard and his coaching staff. Last season, he made 28 appearances across all comps and got 1 goal and 2 assists. The goal came against Villa, right? And he's got a deal until 2026. So you'd imagine between now and next year, there's got to be a new deal given out there. And he's played 61 times, people. So that shows he's a key player. I just think the only thing with Zinchenko is obviously, you know, that he's never going to be a great defensively minded fullback. But I'd say the biggest issue is availability. He does pick up these injuries, really and truly. Other than that, key member of the squad and a key player, really and truly. Moving away from that, Diomande, who's been linked with Arsenal, Newcastle and Chelsea. Apparently, the move to Chelsea potentially is in danger in terms of collapsing. The Blues have been monitoring the 20-year-old throughout the 2023-24 campaign and were keen to steal a march on rivals Arsenal and Newcastle United in the race for a signature this summer. However, a well-placed source has told Football Insider that Chelsea now need to sell players before making any more signings in the off-season. So that could obviously be, a boost to Arsenal and anybody else. Apparently, Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle have all watched him throughout this season, and he's impressed in both the league and European competition for Sporting. Apparently, he would cost around £51 million, and he can play fullback as well. I like him a lot, really and truly, and it's clear to see why Arsenal tracked him during his days in Denmark, and that's obviously followed through to him currently in Portugal, people. Jarell Hato, who I believe should stay at Ajax, a player that Arsenal apparently like to look at. He's 17 years of age or freshly turned 18. There's no rush to move. I mean, he's a typical Dutch player. He's intelligent. He's good 1v1. He is obviously, with his age, a lot of rawness in his game. Got a great left foot. Very committed in the tackle. Very raw in a nice way. Like, he's like a blank canvas. He could, there's got to be a reason that Timber fitted in so well at Arsenal, because Ajax and Arsenal are quite similar. Obviously, he's a bit more experienced. I don't think it makes sense for Hato to leave. How many 17, 18-year-olds are playing week in, week out for a big club like Ajax? And I think in the present day, if you're a good, talented young player, it's like you immediately need to move on. You immediately need to join a bigger club. I know Arsenal don't typically do these things, although we did with Saliba, but I would have liked us to bring a more immediate ready defender of the Timber/Tomiyasu ilk, give Ajax whatever they want for Hato and say, you know what, sit there for another season. So for the 2025-26 campaign, he would arrive. Fabrizio Romano has said that there could be a development where his future is concerned. Arsenal, the Premier League side, most predominantly linked with the youngster. And he's also worn the captain band for them on a couple of occasions. And it had been thought that the Gunners would move for Hato in the summer. However, that likely won't be the case now, according to Romano. He's set to stay at Ajax at least until 2025. Staying with Arsenal, they have scouted talented young defender Hato multiple times, but he's now set to sign a new contract. The new deal will be valued until June 2028 with no release clause included. So there's no movement expected for Hato this summer, but it could change, especially in 2025. Arsenal are one of the teams who have sent scouts to monitor him on several occasions. One alternative for the Gunners could be William Pacho, it's been revealed that the Eintracht Frankfurt star, who is also a left-sided defender like Hato, has been shortlisted by Arsenal and Liverpool ahead of the summer. He won't come cheap, though, with the Bundesliga side demanding at least 60 million euros. So make of that what you will, people. And again, Willian Pacho, the Ecuador international people who can play centre-half, apparently, people, has been one of the standout performances for Frankfurt. He's been eyed by both Arsenal and Liverpool. 22 years of age. Apparently, the plan had been to keep him at the club until 2025. But as reported several weeks ago, the fact that Premier League clubs have begun queuing up for the defender has led to the Eagles considering a summer sale. The side said to be interested back then were Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man United. Apparently, Sky Germany's Florian Plattenberg has provided an update on Pacho, and he's intriguingly omitted one of these sides. According to the journalist, Arsenal and have Liverpool have shortlisted. I think they just mean Arsenal and Liverpool have shortlisted Pacho ahead of the summer transfer window. Surprisingly, though, he had no mention of Man United, who will certainly be in the market for a youngish centre-back in the upcoming window. 60 million quid, I'm not sure where they're at. But yeah, we'll have to see exactly how that develops, people. Kieran Tierney has been linked with a move away. Apparently, Arsenal could sell Tierney as part of a summer fire sale at the Emirates Stadium. There has been some rumours there's a valuation of 20 million placed on the head of Tierney. According to Give Me Sports sources, he could see a fire sale at Arsenal in the summer due to the club's need to tighten up the squad. This would hint that several squad players could see their time at the Emirates Stadium come to an end over the next few months. Tierney is suggested to be one of those. As you know, the left back is currently on loan at Sociedad. He's done his thing at Sociedad, but he's also found himself still injured. He's contracted until 2026, and apparently a 20 million mark has been placed on his head as a starting point of any negotiations. We signed him for 25 million, people. It started well, but hasn't ended well. You'd imagine there's a sell-on clause or a sell-on percentage in the deal that saw him join Arsenal from Celtic. So we'll probably take even more of a hit, but it is what it is in that regards. So I have to see. And also, you know, the likes of Emil Smith-Rowe, Aaron Ramsdale, Eddie Nketiah, Reece Nelson, even though he's playing week in, week out, you know, Kyrgios, a lot of players are still linked with departures at the carpet. So we'll have to see exactly what's going on, people. Once again, Hato seems to be staying at Ajax at least until 2025, people. So I have to see. Apparently, there's no release clause attached to his new contract. His future in the Netherlands is not guaranteed until 2028. I mean, when is it ever? We've already seen that. So what's the point going over that? Unfortunately, Martinelli is expected to miss the game against Porto due to a foot injury sustained in the 6-0 victory against Sheffield United last weekend. As you know, he didn't play against Brentford, and there was actually some rumours that I can't verify it because I weren't at the Emirates, but he was in a cast or a protective boot, maybe as a precaution. Don't know what you've got to do, Martinelli, but you, Tomiyasu, Partey, Jesus, anyone that's injured or thinking about being injured, with the exception of Timber, make sure you're there for the 31st of March against Manchester City. Arteta has said not many team news updates. We still have 24 hours, and we are trying to have everybody fit and available. We have Martinelli and Saka with little issues, he said before the game. So we'll have to see. And he's also been called up to the Brazil side, but been omitted as well. And ironically, the lad who scored for Porto against us has been called up in his place. Currently, Martinelli has 8 goals and 5 assists in 32 appearances for Arsenal this season, which he's not quite firing on all cylinders nonetheless, but he's making it happen, people. Oh, sorry, I don't know why the screen changed. Apologies, people. Again, I don't know how true this is, but we all know Francesco Camarada, a young player at AC Milan, is making a lot of headlines. People, made his debut at just 15 years of age. Apparently, AC Milan could be susceptible to one of Arsenal, Tottenham, or City stealing record-breaking Francesco Camarada after contract talks were reportedly postponed. City have been linked with him quite a lot. Chelsea have also thrown themselves into the ring for the striker. Be a bitter pill to swallow for AC Milan to lose an academy player, but as you know, he can't join until he's 18, such is the Brexit rules. So this is probably just paper talk and probably nonsense. Ben Jacobs has been speaking about Oshimen. He said Chelsea could theoretically afford Oshimen this summer. I can't imagine that's news to anyone, but nonetheless, people, he has said and maybe this indirectly features into Arsenal. The key question in light of all of this is, can Chelsea afford Oshimen? From what I'm told, the answer is yes on paper, but in practice, it may be at the expense of other names in key positions. Napoli are going to insist Oshimen's 100 million release clause is paid, and the Nigerian wants around 250k per week. So for all the talk about Oshimen, people have concerns over the wages. Yes, it's an expensive outlay for the transfer fee and the wages, but if he wants 250k, Havertz is on that Arsenal. 100 million, I think everybody was prepared to pay everything from 80 to 100, just 100 plus million for him. I think people are being a bit harsh to Oshimen about his potential wage demands. These numbers might give PSG an edge since they have freed up around 200 million euros gross from Mbappe's departure at the end of the season. But I'm told Oshimen ideally wants to move to the Premier League, so we can't rule out for Chelsea, Arsenal, even Manchester United if Ten Hag's side somehow get Champions League football. Chelsea, we want significant and quick outgoings and perhaps to put off strengthening other positions if they do put down an offer for the Nigerian. So I'm not too sure where you guys are at with that, but there you have that, folks. In relation to Mikel Arteta in his press conference in relation to Porto, we've gone over that. You know, there isn't any update in terms of team news. Tomiyasu has returned to training, as some of you lot would have seen. Apparently, he did the first part. Gabby didn't, but that's what we're hoping for Tommy to be involved. Obviously, the title race is heating up, and, you know, it is what it is in that regard. On us galvanizing behind Aaron Ramsdale, the unity around the players is amazing because it's organic, it's natural. They really feel for each other. And when they have opportunities to do something to make somebody look better or get him out of trouble, they are ready to do it. It was a great example, again, of the quality of the team and the people that we have within there. On Porto, he said, we're certainly going to have to tweak a few things to generate much more than what we did against them. So I would imagine Jorginho starts, potentially Zinchenko as well, owing to the form of Kyrgios and also the rustiness that Zinchenko may or not have. You would imagine, I think personally, I would go with Jesus on the left in Martinelli's absence, Havertz up front, Saka on the right. Jorginho's got to continue to play with Declan Rice. But you never know. Jesus might go up front and Kai Havertz might again start in midfield. I don't know, but it's the level of the Champions League. You're facing teams. The fact there are 2 games as well plays on your mind. We're going to have to be better tomorrow on potentially reaching the quarterfinal for the first time since 2010, people, over 14 years. Well, 14 years. That's the opportunity that we have tomorrow in front of our people and in our stadium for 96 minutes. Bring your energy, bring your noise, and let's do it together. On the crowd's going to play a fantastic part. I think the impact they can make tomorrow is incredible. I don't think they really realize we need that noise and we need them playing every single ball with us. We need that emotional control as well to understand that the game can go through certain phases and we have to be really intelligent to push in the right moments to get what we want. It is a beautiful opportunity to live these nights. It's been 14 years, so everything that we put in is going to be worth it. On what it feels like to be on the touchline when the crowd's like this, that I want to go out there and play, that's the feeling that we have. That is the joy to be part of this club and enjoy being a part of these kind of games. Tomorrow is going to be a great night. I mean, we've obviously need to learn from the first leg, so I'm not going to waste time on that, people. And he's also said potentially being top of the Premier League and going through to the next round. We have to make it tomorrow, but we have to be very good to achieve that. We all know the players are going to need passion. Obviously, our experienced players have been missing for a period, but we're going to need their experience from the bench, in the dressing room, and for those of them that enter the pitch, obviously on the pitch. Well, unfortunately, we haven't had them for long periods this season. The same for someone like Partey as well, but we have others as well that we learn from experience of playing those games, and the boys will be ready tomorrow. On if they're fit enough to start the game. Well, everybody that is available has to be available enough to play, because you might have to play after 5 minutes or from the start, and the boys are in a good place. So, yeah, there you have that. Martinelli, he's not playing tomorrow, and Arteta hasn't been drawn on his percentages, but you never know. So we're going to have to see. I think everybody just wants to win the game, and obviously everybody wants to see an exciting and electric atmosphere. Let me know your thoughts on what Arteta has said, what you make of the transfer rumours. Don't forget, people, this video will be out before my watch-along for Arsenal versus Porto, so join me at 7 p.m. because the game kicks off at 8 p.m. Most importantly, stay safe, stay blessed, like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notifications, follow on the socials. Peace.
You always use that. I can run that. Defending. I think it's like